Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thornton's very first online town hall meeting. I'm Mayor Jan Coleman, and I am so glad that you've joined us tonight. Your city council and I are here because we believe it's very important to connect with you, to listen, to answer your questions, and to keep you informed about what's happening in our community. We know that not everyone can make it to our in-person ward and community meetings, so tonight's virtual format is designed to make it easier for more people to participate. Ahead of this meeting, we asked you to submit your questions and you responded. So thank you very much. We received quite a few submissions, and over the next hour, we will answer as many as we can. Before we dive in, I'd like to have our city council introduce themselves to you. So let's start with Ward 1.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Justin Martinez. I'm a council member from Ward 1.
Good evening. I'm Chair Salazar. I am a Ward 1 council member.
Good evening, Jessica Sandgren, Ward 2 Councilwoman.
Roberta Ayala, Ward 2 council member.
Good evening, Tony Unrein, Ward 3 Councilman.
Dave, you're muted.
Oh, there we go. Councilmember Dave Acunto, Ward 3. Apologize for the technical difficulty.
Hi, I'm Karen Bigelow, Ward 4 representative and current Mayor Pro Tem as well. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Russell, and I am a Ward 4 council member.
So thank you all again for joining us. It wouldn't be a Zoom meeting without somebody being muted. So glad we got that one out of the way. The city council and I feel that this new online forum is really a great opportunity to share with you some of the highlights in our city from 2024 and so far in 2025. It has been a very eventful year, and we are very proud of the work happening across our community. So to kick this off, let's watch a short video presentation of the Thornton State of the City.
I'm not able to hear the audio for the video.
Todd, you might have to replay with turning the audio on. Again, bear with us. Again, a Zoom meeting without audio technical difficulties would be no Zoom meeting at all.
Apologies. 1 second, please. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Mayor Jan Coleman. Thank you for joining us tonight for this virtual town hall. We are starting the event tonight with something new. I call this my State of the City address, and I will tell you about some of the significant accomplishments and events in the city of Thornton from 2024 and the first part of 2025. We start with the opening of an amazing new city facility, the Thornton Community Center. In conjunction with Anythink Libraries, Thornton opened the newly constructed Thornton Community Center with a 30,000 square foot recreation center and 10,000 square foot library. People will be enjoying these facilities for decades to come. Since opening, over 26,000 visitors have enjoyed the variety of amenities available at this new facility. The center has hosted nearly 300 rentals for events like meetings and trainings, as well as a wide range of celebrations. We also now have a solid group of senior regulars that are using the walking track, circuit machines, and coffee corner. Thornton leaders have worked for decades to ensure the city's future water supplies meet the needs of the residents and businesses in Thornton. And in May of 2024, that became a reality. After a nearly 10-year process by city staff, the Larimer County Board of Commissioners unanimously approved the final major permit required to construct the Thornton Water Project. The Thornton Water Project will bring water Thornton owns in reserves north of Fort Collins by pipeline 70+ miles down for use right here in the city. The project is on schedule to be completed in 2028 and provides water for the city to grow to full build-out. We always keep a focus on public safety, and we saw some significant changes which elevate public safety efforts in our city. Training and certifications remain a priority for the police department. Our department received full approval to be a Peace Officer Standards and Training or POST certified training facility in October of 2024, which allowed the department to start the first POST training class for new recruits in March of 2025. Those recruits and our current officers are now able to use a state-of-the-art shooting range at the PD training facility, which became fully operational at the end of September last year. The police department also completed the One Mind Pledge. This One Mind campaign is a national effort to ensure that police agencies implement best practices for interacting with people with mental health challenges. And last but not least, Thornton hired its new police chief, Mr. Jim Baird, in April of this year, and he starts with us on May 27th. The Thornton Fire Department continues to see growth. The design and plans for our newest fire station came together in 2024, and a groundbreaking ceremony was held in 2025. Fire Station number 8 is located at 15343 Monaco Street in North Thornton. This station will help the department improve and maintain response times in this part of the city. The department also held a Hook and Ladder Academy. 23 high school students participated in the Hook and Ladder Academy in 2024 and got to learn valuable lessons on what it's like to be a firefighter and paramedic. Safety on Thornton streets is a big priority for the City Council, and we were glad to see the start of a program designed to evaluate traffic and safety issues in the city. Vision Zero is the name of the program, and it's an aggressive and actionable plan with a goal of achieving zero fatal and serious injury crashes on the city's roads by 2040. The plan looks to create a safe transportation system for all roadway users, including pedestrians, bicyclists, transit users, and vehicle users. The plan identifies projects and actions the city will implement to improve traffic safety so Thornton residents and visitors can travel without tragedy. Economic development activity in the city brought some fantastic amenities, and more are on the way. At the Thornton Town Center, the Pickler, a 30,000 square foot pickleball and entertainment facility, opened in December. And coming this year is Malibu Jacks, an indoor theme park featuring go-karts and rides. At the Grove, we welcomed Snowbon in February of 2024, while Chicken and Pickle broke ground and is expected to open in the spring of 2025. Billy Birch, a new sit-down restaurant, is being constructed at 120th and Holly, and that will include an outdoor patio and beer garden. Looking into the future, we learned about new venues slated for Lark Ridge, including K1 Speed and Dick's House of Sport in 2026, and the Theater in the Round facility that's coming in 2027. Of significant interest is the fate of the old Thornton Shopping Center and what will be built there in the future. Demolition of the Thornton Shopping Center started in June of last year, and 3 community input and visioning meetings happened with over 250 residents attending. The Thornton Shopping Center site was also chosen for the prestigious NIOP Rocky Mountain Real Estate Challenge, which is a development competition between the graduate schools at DU and CU. And finally, some changes to Thornton City government that were significant. Former Ward 1 Councilmember Kathy Henson was elected to be an Adams County Commissioner. Her vacant seat was filled by special election just recently, and Chair Salazar was elected. And City Council hired a new city manager just last year. Tansy Hayward, Thornton's first female city manager, was hired in August and started the job in October of 2024. Thank you all for taking the time to watch, and now let's get on with the rest of the town hall meeting. So thank you very much. Thank you for bearing with us with a few technical difficulties. We are very excited again to get started with our community question portion of our town hall. As a reminder, these questions were submitted online over the past month by community members, and we're going to go in ward order from 1 to 4, with one member of each ward reading a question and then providing the answer. After going through a round of questions, we'll start over and we'll see how it goes from there. I'm going to kick it off to Justin Martinez from Ward 1.
Thank you, Mayor Coleman. First, I just want to start off by thanking everybody who is attending and also everybody who submitted questions for the council to answer. As far as I can remember, this is the first town hall that we've done in a while, and just very happy that we're able to get your questions and provide the best answers that we can. I really do think there's a lot of positive things going for the city of Thornton, and I want to thank the staff for putting together the state of the city. Things like the Thornton Shopping Center, the Thornton Water Project, many of the new economic development opportunities that we just heard about. I think we should all be very excited about all the new things that are coming to Thornton and the potential growth opportunities that we're going to see now that we've secured a long-term water supply through the Thornton Water Project. So a brief update in Ward 1. I think that, we covered the Thornton Shopping Center. It's a critical project, and there's a lot of excitement around what's going to happen there. I hear a lot of questions from people around what are we going to put in there? And I just want to reassure everybody that the decision to what to do with the Thornton Shopping Center has not been made. We are still in the early stages of the cleanup and the remediation project. And so we can expect that to continue on throughout 2025. Perhaps we might hear some more news about what could potentially be there later this year or early next year. And I'd also like to, congratulate the students at the University of Denver for the NIOP Challenge. Both schools, University of Colorado and University of Denver, provided excellent presentations and proposals for what to do with Thornton Shopping Center. And I think that it's really provides some good insight into what the development community sees, what potential they see in that space. And so on that note, I'll go ahead and get started with one of the questions that was submitted about economic development. So the question is, what efforts are being made to bring businesses to Ward 1? I spend all my money on groceries, entertainment, personal care outside of Ward 1, and in most cases outside of Thornton, which is frustrating. For example, Homegrown Tap and Dough Perdida recently opened in Westminster, and Post Brewery is newer and in North Glen. Neither are situated in yet another strip mall, and both have great patios and are clean. Why are we not making efforts to bring similar businesses to Thornton, specifically near Ward 1 and 2? The same is true for grocery stores. Both Safeway and King Soopers in Ward 1 and 2, respectfully, are extremely dated. What standards are we holding businesses to upkeep what they have and participating in Ward 1, making it better? This is especially true when looking at areas south of Thornton Parkway and Washington Street. It seems like a free-for-all in that area. And to the person that submitted that question, I wholeheartedly agree with some of those frustrations. But there's a lot of things in the works that you may not know about. First of all, the City of Thornton has an outstanding economic development team that works to promote available commercial opportunities in Thornton. Our team has been working with many different businesses nationwide and locally to recruit some of the best businesses that could add restaurants, entertainment, a number of different amenities for Thornton. And I have the utmost confidence that they'll be able to bring those businesses to Ward 1. The staff, for example, works with brokers and developers to market available sites, and they've actually had some exciting recent successes in Ward 1 that I can share with you. For example, Malibu Jacks is an indoor amusement park, and the Pickler, which we just saw in the video, recently just opened. Both are going to be located in the Thornton Town Center. Also, Gordon Foods is a new grocery store located in the former Kmart space just off of 104th. And Gordon Foods is exciting, and I'm really excited to see that come up to provide another grocery opportunity. In addition, a couple of new restaurants have come into the area. For example, Spice Kitchen, which is on the very edge of Ward 1, took over the former Brewskis off 104th, and Chubby Fish Sushi is also located in High Point Park. Both of those are exciting restaurants, and if you haven't been there, I definitely recommend checking them out. Staff also attracted a couple of new exciting employers to Ward 1. For example, Harbin Infrastructure's corporate headquarters is located in the North Valley Tech Center, and DG Metals is located off of Fox Drive. So the staff is proactively working to market available opportunities to targeted users in the market, such as reaching out to other sit-down restaurants. And I know that we've got the Old Chicago's off of Grant that people are looking for another restaurant opportunity. And I think I know that we're working really hard to recruit somebody to be in that space. And as I said, the staff has been working on the redevelopment for Thornton Shopping Center, which is a big, large-scale project. And I think that the vision of the council has been to push for a bold new opportunity in that area. Because we're trying to do something new and potentially, you know, revolutionary for that neighborhood, it's going to take some time and some care. So I just want to let everybody know that the economic development staff, city development, and the council are working together to recruit the best opportunities for that area. In response to the standards questions, City Council adopted regulations that require a minimum property maintenance standard for all non-residential properties in the South Urban Renewal Area, which is generally located south of 104th. This has allowed staff to enforce the condition of properties and buildings throughout the area. The city has dedicated an inspector to enforce those standards. We're also working to enforce other nuisance codes. And the last thing I'd like to say is that the city is, we are working hard to make sure that that area is safe as well. So there are a number of opportunities for businesses to engage with the police department. We've got programs that actually specifically serve business owners to help them provide tips and regarding security for their business, as well as building stronger and better relationships with the police department. So I hope that answers your question. I know there's a lot of things going on in the city of Thornton, and I want everybody to know that Ward 1 has a lot of opportunity, and there is a lot of focus and attention to that area. And the city has already committed, I think over $13 million to updating the streetscaping of Washington Boulevard, which I think will help the economic development team add and recruit businesses to the area. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in Ward 1, and please feel free to reach out to me or Councilmember Salazar. Anybody can reach out to me on my cell phone. I'll give you my number at 720-880-8145. And if you have any questions about what's going on in Ward 1 or throughout the city, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Now I'm going to pass it on to our council member in Ward 2, Councilmember Sandgren.
Thank you, Councilmember Martinez. Thanks for those updates as well. I'll just start off with a couple updates in our throughout our city. Parks and Recreation has always been part of my passion. I grew up with my mom working in Parks and Recreation, so spent a lot of time at our parks and pools. And so I'm happy to see a lot of the parks have been updated, some new sensory equipment going in, some new paths are coming. I'm going to just get some specifics here. So as part of just more safety for pedestrian and bike pathways, there is a citywide bike and pedestrian trail planning study that is currently underway. So that'll be throughout the entire city. There are some additional let's see, pedestrian crossings at Bel Air Street that are under design. Colorado Front Range Trail will be connecting on the east side of Riverdale Road, and then improvements to install sidewalks and ADA ramps at the northwest corner of 100th Avenue and Riverdale Road are also under construction. So I know the city does put a lot of effort into making sure anytime we have new development to connect those trails and pathways. And bikes, of course, we know a lot of people are out riding their bikes again. Bike to Work Day is actually coming up next month in June. I believe the city has a couple of stations for that. And so keep an eye out on social media. There will be more information for that. If you haven't participated, those are pretty fun, usually a morning and an afternoon stop or station. And that'll usually be breakfast, coffee, breakfast burritos, and different giveaways. So keep an eye out on that. That's always a fun event. As far as other items in Parks and Rec, pickleball I'm always advocating for pickleball. I play a lot of pickleball at all of our recreation centers and outside. And so happy to see the outdoor pickleball courts at Margaret Carpenter Rec Center will be completed with the finished painting. So that should be open to the public here shortly. The courts have been ready, just not the smooth surface. So hopefully you'll be able to get on that soon if you've been waiting. And then, of course, Margaret Carpenter has evening pickleball hours. It's the only evening pickleball hours this side of I-25 at the recreation centers, and that's on Thursday nights. I've heard that's been pretty busy, so I hope to see more of that as we go forward in the future. Looking forward to Chicken and Pickle opening, hopefully in the next month or so. I know that'll be a big draw for people to come both playing pickleball outside. There's going to be a rooftop patio, so another new and fun restaurant coming to Thornton, as well as Billy Birch, which is just on the border of Ward 2 and Ward 3 off 120th and Holly. So I know we'll be looking at other restaurants coming our way. That's always a question that everybody gets in every ward. I know economic development gets that question a lot. And so you heard Councilmember Martinez provide some of those updates, and also keep an eye on economic development social media. They do post that pretty regularly. One other item for us in Ward 2 that we will have another ward meeting this fall, October 30th. We had a community meeting earlier this year, and so we'll follow it up with a ward meeting in the fall. So more information we'll get as that gets closer. We're still quite a ways away from that. I do believe Ward 1 has a community meeting coming up, so keep your eyes open for that if you like to attend those. So I'll go ahead and move on to my question. And so this is a question that I know has come up a lot lately, not just for myself, but in council meetings and different conversations. So my question was, there are so many homeless people hanging out in front of stores near the train station and in the parks, especially Margaret Carpenter. Why are so many homeless people coming to the city, and what is the plan to keep us safe and free from drugs and trash that is left behind? And so, as everyone probably can imagine, homeless is not just a city issue. It's a regional, it's a statewide issue. We've all been dealing with this in each of our cities. We border multiple jurisdictions, so we know that if one city does something, it affects another city next to it. So we know when Denver does a sweep, we see more homeless coming into our city. And so what's been happening with that is there is a lot of outreach and resource connections. We do have the HOT, which is the Homeless Outreach Team, works along with code enforcement to address some of those concerns, going out to those individuals in the community that are unhoused and providing them with some information, housing alternatives, mental health and substance abuse services, resources, and then food, hygiene, medical care, and job assistance. So those are all the resources. We do have heating and warming centers during extreme weather situations. Margaret Carpenter has been that location. And so the question about why are we seeing so many at Margaret Carpenter? That is exactly why. It's sort of a double-edged sword, because we're trying to help people and we want to take care of them in an extreme weather situation. We don't want people dying on our streets. But what that does is it also brings them to our city and into our city. So with that, we do have also business outreach. We're not the only ones that are providing some of these assistance. You know, businesses in the area also care about people and want to try to help when they can. So our city does work with our local businesses and provide training so that they can help understand what their rights are, what their responsibilities are, how can they reduce trespassing, security measures, providing guidance on security measures, and then collaborating with those business owners regularly to address concerns and solutions. I think that there is lots of room for continued collaboration on that. We've heard from some of our businesses and the dollar amounts that they're spending, their concerns with their customers coming in. And so again, I think this is just another area that we're going to see continued collaboration with our city. Yesterday, we did have a meeting, the city of Thornton and the city of North Glen, to collaborate on another area where there have been several encampments. And so again, this is not just a single issue for us in the city of Thornton, but it is definitely a regional that's going to have to tackle this. So hoping to see some more information coming from our county commissioners and Adams County as to how we can try to address the situation as a region. We are the largest city in that county, but we can't be responsible for the entire county and the homeless situation that we're all seeing. So looking to partner there and hoping to get more information on that soon. City crews do conduct regular cleanups of areas that are impacted by encampments, but there is a time clock. It's not like they can just go out the day that they hear of an encampment and remove those individuals. It does take time. There's certain state laws that have to be followed, and so try to have a little bit of patience. But do call if you see something and let us know so that we can take proper steps to take care of that. So trash and debris, drug paraphernalia, all of those things are getting cleaned up and paid for by your tax dollars. So last dollar amount that I was able to get was we're nearing the $750,000 spent on homeless outreach and resources. So really looking for that partnership from the county as this becomes more and more expensive. I'm not sure what the answers are. It's not a single answer. We know that there's housing, there's mental health, there's all sorts of components to unhoused and how we handle that. So I did put a question out on social media. It was just a simple question. I did get some feedback. I saw some negativity. There's always going to be mixed emotions on this topic, but it is something that's not going away. And when we continue to see the dollar amounts go up, I think it's something that we need to continue talking about and trying to find a solution. So as we find those partnerships and those meetings happen, I'm hoping that the city will continue to do stakeholder and outreach, especially as we use city resources for some of those not shelters, but warming centers and any resources that are going to be provided. So hopefully that will answer those questions, and we'll continue working on this as a whole. I'm going to kick it over to Councilmember Acunto, Ward 3.
All right, thanks, Jessica. I say good evening to everybody attending this virtual town hall. Before I address your question today, I want to highlight a few important updates. First is National Police Week, a time to honor the brave men and women of the Thornton Police Department who serve our community daily. As we approach Police Officers Memorial Day on May 15th, I encourage you to join me in thanking our officers whose dedication underpins our safety efforts. I'm also excited, as you heard in the State of the City, that we have chosen Chief Jim Baird as our new police chief. Chief brings a wealth of experience and has served, having served as a chief in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Breckenridge, Colorado. He is currently serving as the president of the Colorado Association of Chiefs of Police. His commitment to community involvement aligns with our values, and I look forward to his leadership of our approximately 258 sworn officers. You've heard this mentioned twice, and Councilwoman Sandgren kind of stole a little bit of my thunder, but I'm happy to talk about Billy Birch. It's a new restaurant and beer garden set to open in early June here in Ward 3 at near the intersection of 120th and Holly. It's an exciting addition to our ward, and I can't wait for all of us to enjoy it together. And lastly, the Anything Library at Ayler Open Space. I'm excited that the construction is on schedule for an early July 2026 opening. The project recently celebrated a topping out ceremony, marking the placement of the final steel I-beam, a milestone for this project. All right. So turning to the question that was asked from Ward 3, the question was, given the high frequency of severe crashes at intersections like 120th Avenue and Colorado Boulevard and 88th Avenue in Washington, can you provide updates on the effectiveness of red light or speed enforcement cameras? So we have initiated a pilot project for the photo and red light enforcement at these two intersections and mobile photo speed enforcement citywide. A vendor has been selected, and we are currently in contract phase. Once the contract is finalized, design implementation will follow, with the camera expected to be operational later this year, a significant step for Ward 3. So the goals of this program are threefold: to reduce red light running and excessive speeding, both leading causes of serious crashes at the intersections; enhance enforcement without requiring constant officer presence, allowing our police to focus on other priorities; and promote long-term behavioral changes among drivers with visible deterrence, encouraging safe driving habits. Studies from other jurisdictions show that red light and speed cameras can reduce T-bone and angle collisions, which are more likely to cause serious injuries or fatalities and often lead to significant drop in repeat violations over time. For example, cities with similar programs have reported fewer high severity crashes after implementation. Thornton's pilot project targets these outcomes, specifically addressing the high crash rates at 120th Avenue and Colorado Boulevard and 88th Avenue, Washington Street. After implementation, it will take approximately 6 months to a year to evaluate the program's effectiveness, with initial results expected in late 2026. The Thornton Police Department, led by Intern Chief Greg Reeves and soon-to-be Chief Jim Baird, will monitor the crash data and violation rates, providing regular updates to ensure transparency. This program aligns with our Vision Zero goals to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries, particularly in high traffic areas like 120th Avenue and Hawley. We're committed to keeping you informed as the program evolves and making our streets safe. Yeah. So, and I will now toss this over to Mayor Pro Tem Karen Bigelow.
Mayor Pro Tem, you're muted.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Like you said, it wouldn't be a Zoom meeting if we didn't mess it up a couple times. Anyway, good evening, everybody. We've got a lot going on in Ward 4, as always. It's exciting that GQ Barbecue is just opening up on 120th. I know we have a lot of big fans that are excited about that. And very soon, we're going to have Chicken and Pickle opening in the Grove off 144th. We've been talking with many of the developers in the area who are expressing a desire to build multi-use development that'll include more restaurants and retail. So once they get into pre-application, we're excited to see that move forward. I also wanted to say, as always, the Denver Premium Outlets area is constantly growing and attracting more retail and restaurants. And there's more coming up at Larkridge, as our mayor pointed out in the video earlier, but the long-awaited K1 speed racing will be coming right next to Topgolf. There'll be a theater in the Round. Plus, I'm excited personally about having a regional mobility hub at Highway 7 and I-25. I know those of us on the north end of York Street near E470 are going to be very excited when the bridge is finished being built near Fire Station number 7 this summer. And I'm sure that our fire departments are going to be more happy than we are. We're also, as Councilmember Acunto just mentioned, looking to increase our red light enforcement. We tested that at a couple locations this past year, and we'd like to be able to increase the areas that we're using that technology. So we want to be able to work on our Vision Zero plan and help reduce the speeding in our entire city. I'm really thankful to the police for working with North Glen as well on curbing street racing. As we know, we're going to have to remain ever vigilant in that arena. I wanted to mention that our first Ward 4 event of the summer is going to be an ice cream social that's scheduled for Saturday, June 14th at 5 p.m. at Fallbrook Farms Park. We're excited to see you there for the first of many summer events. I did want to mention many of you reach out on a constant basis. I'm happy to say by email, text, or phone. I was also going to give my cell phone number out. It is 720-237-7358. Just remind you that all of us work for you, so please contact us anytime. Now I'll get to one of the questions that was asked by a Ward 4 resident, but this absolutely is pertinent to everybody in our entire city. And I think a lot of people had questions about where we would come down on this. So the question is, what is the city doing to make sure immigrant communities are safe from harassment by ICE and given their due process rights, not just picked up and disappearing? They said a safe migrant community makes for a safer city. How are you making sure the state laws regarding immigrants are faithfully followed? So I wanted to let you know the Thornton Police Department's role and responsibilities relating to immigration law and interacting with federal immigration officials are set forth in our Thornton policy 414. The policies of the Thornton Police Department are based upon model policies drafted and revised by Lexipol in concert with the National Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, which is CALEA. And the Thornton Police Department is also CALEA accredited. The policy can be located on the Thornton Police Department's website But I do want to point out that the Thornton Police Department's priority is the safety and well-being of everyone in the city of Thornton. Key principles of our immigration enforcement policy are protecting victims and witnesses. The Thornton Police Department is committed to protecting all members of our community. We understand that some individuals may be hesitant to contact law enforcement due to fear or concerns about their immigration status. We want to assure everyone that reporting a crime or cooperating with an investigation will not automatically lead to inquiries about immigration status or deportation proceedings. Our priority is public safety, and we encourage all victims and witnesses to come forward regardless of immigration status. While officers may request identification, they will not specifically investigate immigration status. The Thornton Police Department is dedicated to treating everyone fairly and upholding the constitutional rights of all individuals. The focus is on investigating crimes and ensuring the safety and well-being of our community. Prohibition of civil immigration detentions. As far as that's concerned, the Thornton Police Department officers will not detain individuals solely for civil violations of federal immigration law. Detention will only occur when there is a valid criminal arrest warrant for crimes other than immigration law violations. Also, as far as carefully regulated criminal and immigration detentions related to criminal violations of federal immigration law will occur when there's reasonable suspicion or probable cause and are subject to strict protocols, including supervisory review. We do not detain individuals based solely on their immigration status. A valid arrest warrant for other crimes is required. We prioritize efficient law enforcement and avoid unnecessary detentions for minor offenses when circumstances are warranted. And lastly, limited assistance to federal immigration officials. Our assistance to federal immigration officials is limited to ensuring public safety while they are performing their lawful duties. We do not participate in broader immigration enforcement actions. So I hope that will answer that question as well as we can. I appreciate your time tonight, and I'm going to pass it over to Chair Salazar in Ward 1.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to start out by saying that we have a community meeting that's going to be hosted by Ward 1, and the location of it's going to be at the Community Connections at 9471 Dorothy Boulevard, and it's on Thursday, May 29th from 6 to 7:30. So come with your questions and get a bite to eat. And also the new chief will be there so everyone can get an opportunity to meet with him and ask any questions that you have. My question was, when will the city concentrate on repaving our streets? Street Rehabilitation Program has an annual budget of $7 million and pays approximately 25 lane miles each year. In 2025, the program will pave 13 lane miles and crack and slurry seal 22.5 lane miles in Ward 1. Over the past 5 years, more 62 lane miles have been paved in Ward 1, which is roughly 23% of the ward. The street rehabilitation program also includes preventative maintenance efforts, including crack sealing and slurry sealing. In 2025, the following roads are being paved utilizing city staff and contractors. Milky Way to Pecos to Huron, which has already been done. Elm Place, Corona to Hoffman Way. Carroll Court to Dorothy Boulevard to Gaylord, sorry. Lily Drive, Hoffman to York Street. Wiggum, Roosevelt to 93rd Place. 84th Huron to I-25 median. Thornton Parkway, Conifer Road to I-25 ramp. Wash 83rd Drive to 84th Avenue. Washington and 84th Avenue to 85th Avenue. And you can see a full list of the 2025 street rehabilitation program by going to the city's website and searching street rehabilitation. Please visit www.thorntonco.gov. And also, I'm willing to give my phone number, so if you have any questions about anything else that's going on in Ward 1, please feel free to reach out to me at 303-521-2586. And at this time, I'm going to push it on to Roberta Ayala.
Councilmember Ayala, you are muted now.
Sorry about that. My headphone didn't work there. All right, so it's Roberta Ayala in Ward 2. I just want to give a few updates for Ward 2 and also for Tashco. I formerly was the president of that board, and we have a lot of exciting things coming up this summer that I'd like to update you all on. First of all, speaking about the road resurfacing, there's going to be a resurfacing on Colorado Boulevard from 112th to 120th. I know I had a few questions about that from residents and just wanted to fill folks in on that in Ward 2. Looking at some of the events for the summer, first of all, we have our Ward 2 concert coming up. Just going to look up that here. The Rhythm and Reels concert series is starting, and the first one will be the Mayor's Night on May 31st. And our Ward 2 ice cream social and concert will be with Narrow Gauge and the movie If in Carpenter Fields. And that'll be on June 28th, 2025. And you could check out the full list of all of our ice cream socials on our webpage. Just look up the Rhythm and Reels for the summer, and you can check out and see what movies will be available to watch in the park. One for the Mayor's Night is pretty awesome. It looks like it's going to be Wicked, so that'll be cool. Let's see here for the summer, we're with Tashco. There are a few different events that aren't necessarily listed in our Parks and Rec list, but I think they're going to be cool, and I like to let folks know about them and keep an eye out for the dates and details that are usually going to be listed on our Facebook page. There's usually a post that's posted for each of the events. The first one is Carousel Day. That was started in memory of Frank Newton, and it's a day to ride the carousel for free. Tashco sponsors it, and there's probably some other treats and little activities available with that. And Lauren Turner on Tashco is heading up that subcommittee, and there'll be details about that soon. Also, Dia de los Muertos, which is in the fall. Gabriel Cervantes is the board member that's in charge and is the chair of that committee. Dino Fest, which is going to be a new little festival for our town, is going to be this, I think it'll be towards the end of the summer, and Sheena Skinner is going to be chairing that committee. Juneteenth with Crystal or Style Russell, that will be on the actual date of Juneteenth this year, so the 18th of June. The Pride Festival is being chaired by Becky Bean. And then also, if you have any questions about any of our public art pieces that come up or any repairs that need to be done, you can contact our art department, and you can contact Erica Schmidt. That email is available on the arts and culture page for our city. If you have any questions for me, I still have a website up, and you can sign up for my newsletter at robertaayalaforthornton.com, or you can also just text me or send me or just call me on the phone at 720-238-9079. I'm going to go to our question now. So a question we had here in Ward 2 is, how is the city supporting victims of violent crimes, and what resources are available to assist them during their recovery? So first of all, when there's a violent crime, there's immediate on-scene crisis intervention services. Those are those are usually provided immediately by the police officers, and then there are victim advocates that work for the city. There's volunteer victim advocates and also paid staff victim advocates that are there to help out folks that have maybe a victim of a violent crime. There's also support for short-term housing, transportation, shelters, and food assistance programs as well. One thing is if it's a violent crime and it involves the Adams County, there's also victim advocates that help and support folks who are victims of violent crimes via the county resources as well. There's assistance with the application to the Colorado Crime Victim Compensation Program. When you fill that out, they'll help you with things like medical expenses, therapy, and other financial support, like if somebody needs cameras for their home, lighting for the outside of their house just to make sure they're safe. It takes a little bit of time to get that funding, but it usually comes in if you have to make some expenses during your time after a violent crime. There's also comprehensive and individual referrals to other community agencies like nonprofit organizations that include therapy or other legal assistance that might be needed. There's also guidance and information regarding the criminal justice systems available and referrals to other financial assistance programs that are available via the victim advocates. They're very knowledgeable people and they have a lot of resources at their fingertips to point you in the right direction depending on what you need as far as medical assistance, any type of legal assistance, or just any assistance you might need with the criminal justice system. As a victim of a violent crime, you also have rights, so be sure to ask about that as well. Now I could pass it on to Council Member Tony Unrein in Ward 3.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first virtual town hall meeting. And given the rainstorm we had earlier, probably town hall virtually is a good idea tonight. To start with, we have a lot of things going on in Ward 3. I'll highlight a few of them. And the major project that I see every day is the Thornton Water Project. The pipeline installation is currently, as it was pointed out in the mayor's State of the City, underway. And a good portion of that is going to be coming right down Ward 3 on Quebec Street. And it will be all the way from Highway 7 down to 120th. And a lot of that construction work is currently underway. And that's going to be bringing the water from the Prudhoe River in Larimer County, which is an excellent source of water and is going to help with our future growth in Thornton as we go. On 120th and Holly, we had mentioned earlier that the Billy Birch Beer Gardens was going to be soon to open. And following down or coming further north on Quebec, at 136th in Quebec, we have a lot of construction. Part of the construction that's on the west side of the road is where the 42-inch pipeline was tunneled underneath 136th Avenue. And some of these processes they do when they're doing this pipeline are just, for a guy like me, fascinating to watch and see how they develop this safely. At 136 Quebec in the northeast section, which is commercial, we see how the CVS pharmacy is coming along and due to soon be completed. I know they're paving the lot today, and the next project is going to go underway, and it's been signed is the Chick-fil-A that's going to be in that center as well. We keep striving and working for restaurants in Ward 3, and we're going to keep working that way and go beyond fast food and drive-through. But we're happy to have Chick-fil-A be a part of that. On the northwest section of that intersection is the Anythink Library, Nature Library, and this is truly a diamond in Ward 3. It's a library. It's Anythink is running the library, but it's a nature library, and a lot of promises are in the process of being kept that we will maintain the nature portion of that land up there, so there'll be as much enjoyment and fun outside of the library in the nature with the path and the soon-to-be water project that did go through there at one time will be reconstructed and again flow, and we'll have a lot of things that come along with water. Continuing on, The fire station number 8, which is located 154th and Monaco, construction is well underway and scheduled completion by the fourth quarter of 2025 this year. We do have 28 firefighters that are in the training academy that will be ready to staff that firehouse when it comes open. And we'll start with a engine company, and as the call volume and EMS needs increase, then there'll be consideration to add a rescue EMS unit in the future. Looking through, we'll continue on to very far north part of Ward 4, and we'll say that with the Highway Colorado 7, we are now, as of yesterday, beginning the resurfacing project on that Highway 7. This is going to be particularly going on in our area, but that all the Highway 7 project stretches clear from Boulder to Brighton, and the at the Interstate 25, the mobility hub. Now that's not in Ward 3, but it's Ward 4. But it's really, really important, and we're going to have a groundbreaking ceremony May 21st at the southeast quadrant, because that is going to be what they call a mobility hub. It's going to be completely redesigned and fabricated so that we can have a bus stop that will be on top of Highway 7 at I-25. And there'll be a park and ride that'll be put in behind the Larkspur shopping center adjacent to Highway 7 at I-25. The resurfacing on Highway 7, as I said, is underway, and we expect that the road surface will improve. Eventually, the multimodal part of Highway 7 will take care of a lot of transportation needs with widening and turn lanes and bike lanes, so that it'll be a complete, really nice piece of highway, because it's a very busy piece of highway right now. The Ward 3 community meeting is going to be scheduled for September 25th at Trailwinds Recreation Center, and the Ward 3 meeting is scheduled for November 13th, also at Trailwinds Rec Center. So please, I encourage everybody to show up for those Ward 3 meetings so we can speak to everybody personally and individually, and have a very, very good evening that way. I'll move on to the question that was submitted by a Ward 3 resident for us. And that question is, RTD bus routes are limited as Thornton population grows and grows, more dense bus routes that can connect to the train stations are necessary. How can we get a bus line on 128th Avenue that runs at least Quebec or Hawley to the East Lake Station? Some questions for different major avenues and thoroughfares. And our reply to this is Thornton adopted a transit plan in 2024 in our transportation and mobility plan. Thornton staff engages with RTD throughout the year to discuss routes that would be beneficial to our residents. And RTD decides where and at what frequency the buses will run. RTD is planning to start a comprehensive operational analysis in 2026 to review, change, and expand service. As Thornton staff learns more information on the RTD approach for this coming evaluation, we will let the public know about the opportunities to engage with them to share their concerns and recommendations through our normal communications. In addition, Thornton is advocating for Route 7 and Washington Street to be expanded in 2026 to serve a new park and ride under construction at the Larkspur Center. That's what we discussed a little earlier. This will help the connections to be made to the new Mustang stop at I-25 and Highway 7 that operates between Fort Collins and Union Station. It will also help the new Colorado Highway 7 transit starter service that it will operate between Brighton and Boulder east to west. Both Mustang and Colorado 7 transit is expected to begin operation in 2026 sometime. And I will close by saying that there's a lot of committees. Most of what I represent are transportation committees, and I do meet with representatives from RTD during these transportation meetings. And we are located, most of Thornton is located in RTD District K. And our director is Troy Whitmore. Troy Whitmore is a former Thornton City Council person. He lives here, he represents us, and I think we are really fortunate to have him working for us. RTD doesn't move quite as fast as I would prefer that they did. So we'll keep working on that too. So thank you very much for the question, and the entire evening has just been really, really good. And I look forward to visiting with everybody face to face in the future. Please contact me. Thank you. And I'll kick this over to Chris Russell. Are you here, Chris?
I'm here, buddy, and I'm the last
Okay.
one to go, so it makes it pretty easy on that transition for you. First off, thank you for all of our residents and viewers for attending this evening. It's much appreciated as we're, as a council, excited to have our first town hall. The strange thing about going last is that there becomes less and less for one to talk about, considering just about every council member covered various things around the city, but they didn't cover everything. So with that being said, I'm going to touch base on some of the things that weren't discussed already, but giving you just a little idea of the work and what we're doing. Personally, I know, and along with many of the other council members, we have been taking a lot of meetings with developers to include housing, entertainment, restaurants. Our city is growing and growing rapidly. And as mentioned, the water pipeline is aiding to that future growth and development. With that, there is a new development code that will be completed here in the upcoming months, but there are still some items in which council members, along with staff, are reviewing to ensure that that development code is the best that we can put forward. But with that, it will bring some clarity for our developers that have interest in our city, as well as updated, as it is fairly outdated in its current state. The Highway 7 resurfacing was mentioned, but one thing that I know that Councilmember Unrein and I are very pleased about was the new light that was put in at Holly and Highway 7. That intersection was pretty dangerous at times and very difficult to cross, but that has been installed and activated over the last month. Additionally, I wanted to touch base on some of the other work that council is going to be doing for our residents, which includes our annual trip in mid-June to travel to DC for our lobbying and to help secure funding while we meet with various departments like Department of Justice, FEMA, Department of Energy, and many more. Those are the efforts that I think go unseen or unknown by council, but very important for our city as we continue to plan and pave our future. So with that, I'm going to jump into the question that I received, which was, can you provide an overview of the latest crime statistics in Thornton, particularly focusing on violent crimes such as assaults, robberies, shootings? How does Thornton's current crime rate compare to neighboring cities and the state average? Other than homicide, Thornton's violent crimes are largely down for 2025 year to date through April as compared to 2024 year to date. Homicides, however, are up 1. That one was unfortunately a pretty notable incident that happened recently. It happened here in my neighborhood, and the police are working very diligently still to work through and solve that case. It did make a lot of news and headlines, but we want to reassure our residents that they are safe. There's been a ton of additional patrol as they work through the case, and it's one of those things that crimes just don't have boundaries. They can happen anywhere and everywhere in our city, and our residents should feel safe, but it is somewhat isolated. Rapes are down 40%, robberies are down 42%, and aggravated assaults are down 9%. Illegal discharges of weapons, however, are up 12%, but that 12% is made up by 3 additional discharges for the same time period year over year. When converted to crime rates per 1,000 people, which consider relative population, Thornton compares well against neighboring cities, including, for the comparison, were Brighton, Broomfield, Commerce City, North Glen, Westminster. And with that statistic of homicide, Thornton compares favorably against 2024 against other cities and the state of Colorado as a whole, with a lower homicide rate than all of them, with the exception of Broomfield. Broomfield had a homicide rate that was equal to Thornton at 0.01 homicides per 1,000 population. Additionally, on the rape statistic, Thornton's 2024 rate for crime is ranked in the middle of the pack with 0.8 per 1,000 population, and robbery, Thornton ranks in the lower end of the group of robberies with a 2024 rate of 0.5 per 1,000 population. Aggravated assault, Thornton ranks considerably less than the state of Colorado as a whole for aggravated assaults, as well as other cities, with, again, the exception of Broomfield. Thornton's 2024 rate was 1.45 per 1,000 population. In the weapons law violations, Thornton ranks roughly in the middle comparatively with all the rest of the municipalities for the weapons law violations in 2024. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. I've made it well known throughout my time on council, as well as campaigning, to share my phone number as well. I do field many calls, and I very much so appreciate when residents reach out, because I think it is an underutilized tool to reach your elected officials and address any issues that might be going on in your neighborhood or your area. So a cell phone number which you can reach me at is 720-400-6278. And I look forward to hearing from you on any issues that is of your importance for you. And with that, I will kick it over to Mayor Coleman to wrap us up.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our council members. You all did a fabulous job, as always. You can tell that all of us work really hard for the city. We all have different passions and different things that we work on, but we work together to make sure that we make a better Thornton for everyone. So very much appreciate everyone's time this evening. I'm going to wrap us up with one quick little question that we get all the time. When is Chicken and Pickle going to open? Well, our latest schedule for that is June 25th. So we are really excited to have it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure most of the council will be there. We look forward to seeing you there and enjoying it as well. And again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I'm sure we're going to post this on our website later. You can reach any of us at thorntonco.gov. Our phone numbers, our emails are all there for everyone anytime. If your question didn't get answered, feel free to reach out to us to get your specific questions answered. Again, thank you so much and have a great evening.